It's Mad Dog Joe. You want liberation, black theology? There's only one liberator, and his name is Jesus Christ. Now, I don't know what you're trying to pull with the politics of the past, bringing up racism like it's some kind of form of censorship, trying to get people to shut up. Well, it ain't gonna work around here. There ain't no slave auction blocks around here. Ain't no one getting bought and sold. You mean to tell me the only people that we can find in poverty or that needs help in the United States are people that are not black? You mean I can't find a white family that needs help? I don't appreciate this kind of racism by the tone of your conversation that suggests that the black people are missing out. That's got no evidence. I want to hear some evidence. I don't want to hear these accusations of the past. And I tell you what, you Democrats out there, you don't like what I'm saying? That's just too bad, because you know what? Part of the U.S. government is the right for the citizens to call a constitutional convention. And I can make the case to do that. And that means I can talk about anything I want. You keep trying to paint the Tea Party and people like me as un-American. We can change America anytime we want. We can call a constitutional convention, and we can talk about anything we want to make that case. It's not un-America. It's part of America. That's part of what freedom's about, and that's what made America. Immigration did not make America. Freedom made America. That's why we got the Statue of Liberty, because of freedom for all. Yes, immigrants might have made it happen a little bit faster, but they came to America because freedom was here, and it's gonna stay here. We're not gonna fall for your little sleight of hand trick trying to blame George Bush for these budget deficits when the Democrats were the ones spending the money in Congress. We ain't falling for your sleight of hand no more. You go ahead and check the facts. The Democrats tripled spending as soon as they got into office, and then they tripled spending every year since then.
When George Bush was in charge, I didn't have to worry about getting me a job.
So don't you go talking about the politics of the past. How many of you know the difference between a democracy and a republic? I want to hear it. Don't you tell me about the white man. I want to know the difference between a democracy and a republic. That's liberation theology. Let me explain it to you. A democracy is when everybody in the family votes on what we're going to eat tonight. All right? That's a democracy. A republic is when you got limitations on that democracy. Your mom, she can't eat seafood. All right, we got a rule. We can't eat seafood. That's a republic now. We all vote, but we can't go to a seafood restaurant. That's a republic. A representative republic is when we say, Dad, tell us where we're going to eat tonight. And he decides where we're going to go. That's a representative republic. But he can't go to a seafood restaurant. That's the difference between a democracy and a republic. A democracy is going to force you to go to that seafood restaurant, and if you don't like the food, too bad. See, that's why we got rules. We got laws. I simplified it for you by saying it's a seafood restaurant you go to. But today, say that like that ban on drilling in the Gulf. We had 2 federal judges overturn Barack Obama's administration to put a moratorium on drilling because it'll hurt the economy too bad. But what does this guy do? He thinks this is a democracy. It's not a democracy. It's a republic. We didn't elect him to make all the rules. He's not a dictator. Now that's what Americans were blessed with. They were blessed with freedom, with their civil rights, the freedom of speech, the freedom to bear arms, the freedom of property, the freedom of intellectual property. Now, control your property means that's yours. If the government tells you what to do with that property, that's control. That's seizure. You see the difference between a republic and a democracy? They might be able to change the rules all the time. You never know what's going to happen from one year to the next. Now that's what made America strong as a republic, is we were all on the same page, we knew what the rules were, and we stuck to them, and we didn't just keep changing them every year. That's why Barack Obama and the Democrats get paid a lot of money, because they got all them lobbyists up there in Washington, and they want to tell you how to live your life. They want to tell you how to run your business. They want to tell you what kind of light bulb you can use. They want to tell you how much energy you can use. They're going to try to tell you you're killing the planet. Why we can't let you have any spending money because you might affect climate change. That's democracy. The republic is protecting your civil rights and protecting you from people that want to do things like that to you and make a buck at the same time if they can. And a democracy is when some smooth talking, salesman convinces you that these things are a good idea. We still got this debate going on. How, the argument's not about smaller government and bigger government. It's about smarter government and more efficient government. Hey, player, I don't know who you think you're taking this for, but we ain't no fools now. You trying to tell me that you got people in government right now that shouldn't be there? That they need to get smarter? I don't like the sound of that. That sounds like communism. Oh, yeah, we're still working on that plan. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it smarter, and it never works. That's why America ain't no communist nation. We don't need smarter and more efficient government. We need government out of the way. Now, when government gets out of the way by being smaller, then it gets smarter and more efficient because it ain't got as much to do. It ain't got as much to think about. But it's over there, you trying to make all these studies all the time, then half the time, y'all don't even go back to the same studies that you made and go back and change your errors because you don't want to admit no mistakes. Or you ain't got time, you working on your next little pet project. More efficient? What's more efficient than smaller government? I ain't buying this argument, man. I ain't buying this argument. Now, this is an important concept to understand. Now, you can get behind the president and be loyal all you want, but I tell you what, you go to prison for a while, when you get out and you can't get a job, what are you going to do?
You're going to have to start a business. Yeah. Let me hear what the Democrats are doing for small business. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. Now, Jesus said they're going to be false prophets. Let me run this by you, what I heard from a black so-called reverend. They're trying to get the idea out there that smaller government is code language for racism. I wasn't born yesterday, and I ain't no fool. Let me explain something to you.
Who's gonna tell a black man what to do all the time? A small government or a big government? See, that's how them high-paid
Speechwriters.
trying to manipulate your mind into thinking that you can't think for yourself. Oh, we need smarter government. We can think smarter than you can. No, you can't. You're not smarter than the private sector. I got the U.S. Constitution that says, leave us alone. Trying to tell me some poor soul coming out of prison can barely read and write, and he gonna wade through all these government regulations trying to start him a little business and get it going? What's up with that? And I'll be honest with you, ever since that speech that President Obama gave before the election of Scott Brown, I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, because that sleight of hand speech. That's not American. That's not American politics. That's Democrat politics. Not democracy. That's Democrat politics. And it needs to go away. And he needs to resign for that speech. He needs to resign. He does not deserve to be in the office of the President of the United States telling us we got sleight of hand going on. It's not hard to understand what freedom's all about. That's what the Statue of Liberty is about. It's not a welcome mat for immigration. Immigrants did not build America. Freedom did. Yeah, immigrants might make it happen a little bit faster, but it was freedom that built America. And the states decided who came into the country, not the government, not the federal government, the individual states. When this country was formed, that's how it happened. Now, this is all important because I tell you what, there's people out there that think that your ability to spend money is going to hurt the planet. And I don't believe that, and neither should you. And you better understand what freedom and what it is and what you need to stand for and what you've got freedom. The Bible, Jesus Christ said, I have blessed you. I have blessed you now. It is not based on color. And I am not going to participate in the politics of the past where we pass down hatred to our children and their children and they hate everybody. I'm not going to participate in that politics of the past. And neither should you. And while you're worried about liberation from the white man,
The Prime Minister of Israel said, I'm ready to talk for peace right now. What are you waiting for? And guess who's on vacation?
the politics of the past in Iowa, when Hillary Clinton should have won the caucus primary, but she was locked out of the building. Her people were locked out of the building to count the votes. Is that the politics of the past? Politics of the past where everything depends on cheap energy in order to create jobs and spread the wealth around by creating it, not taking it. The politics of the past trying to create a gay marriage when marriage is an institution of religion and protected by the First Amendment. The politics of the past where abortion was permitted by doctors sworn to do no harm. The politics of the past